So in the back of your handout is an EKG waveform guide that will help you to measure your intervals. But I just wanted to review it up on the board for you as well. So the P wave on your EKG waveform, you have your P, your QRS, and your T wave. The P wave represents atrial depolarization. The QRS is ventricular depolarization. The T wave represents ventricular repolarization. So I have depolarization and repolarization of the ventricle, but I don't have a repolarization of the atria. If you notice, the depolarization is a larger waveform and the repolarization is smaller. So actually the atrial repolarization occurs, but it's buried within the QRS of the ventricular depolarization. So the waveforms and the measurements that are important are measuring the PR interval, the PRI, and that measures from the beginning of the P wave where it leaves the isoelectric line. So it starts here, and it ends exactly where the QRS leaves its isoelectric line. Okay? So this is usually so it's 3 to 5 boxes of the small boxes, so it's 0.12 to 0.20 seconds, and it represents the amount of time that the conduction system, the electrical impulse goes from the SA node to the AV node, and that AV node holds on to it. No movements of electrons, so you have that isoelectric line. So this is the first measurement you must accurately record. The next is your QRS. The QRS ends exactly where the PRI, or it begins exactly where the PRI ends. So the QRS leaves the isoelectric line, and when the QRS comes back to the isoelectric line. This is typically 1.5 to 2.5 boxes, so it's 0.06 to 0.10 seconds. The third measurement that we record on all of our strips is the QT. So this is the PR interval, this is the QRS, and the QT measures exactly where the start of the QRS began to the end of the T wave where it comes back to that isoelectric line. So it is much longer, so it includes and incorporates the QRS, and it's usually in a normal resting heart rate less than 0.42 or 0.44 seconds in a male or female around 50 years of age. So it's less than 0.42 to 0.44 seconds. What's most important is you'll notice with the QT, as the rate increases in speed, the complexes are pushed together almost like a slinky. So as they push together, the QT shortens. As the patient goes to bed at night and they become bradycardic, it spreads out. Those waveforms spread out. So the important thing to be aware of is that you know what the QT is, and if you ever are concerned that you have a prolonged QT, you should be concerned, does the QT, I'm going to just draw it over here quickly so you can have an idea. So when you're measuring the QT, it should never be more than 50% of the R to R. So this is when you would have a prolonged QT syndrome, and I'll explain that in a different portion of the presentation today.